Okay, so we are back with Brandy. This one we're gonna call Brandy's Part 2, Brandy's Revenge.
I love that.
Okay, so let's start with the first question. Let's just jump into it because we already know you. So let's just jump into it. So why did you say that you consider Andrew Tate your hero? No, I'm just kidding. We'll cut that one. Okay, so during the last podcast, you discussed your best friend and what happened between you guys. Can you elaborate more on that?
So basically, storytelling is not like my strong suit. Basically, I had like a best friend. We would go to school together, like sleep over each other's houses, go to school together, like match outfits all the time, do everything together. And I was dating this guy. It just so happens me and my friend on that prom, we wanted to match dresses. So we were wearing the same dress, different colors. And then that guy I was dating, he asked me to prom. So of course we're matching like the, like the corsage, the dress.
Yeah, yeah. Prom is high school, right?
Yeah, it's like a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
So we're at prom, right? I go to prom with the guy, and then I'm with my friend at the after party. So the guy's like a little older than me, so he has like a different friend group from me.
How much older was he and how old were you?
Just like a year.
Oh,
but like we go to two separate parties.
I see.
Because I go with my class, he goes with his senior class, obviously. The friend that I'm hanging out with, she's like a silly kind of girl. Like she's funny and she's like goofy. She likes to make jokes. So she goes like, oh, I have to go downstairs by the staircase because I have to fart. But we didn't think it was weird because she's like goofy like that.
Right.
Like, she's weird, right? So like, okay, like she's so silly, like let her go. And then like I think like 10 minutes passed by and we're like, oh, where is she? She's not here. And then like 30 minutes passed by and then an hour we're like texting her like, where are you? Are you okay? Like what the heck? Like calling her and like worried about her safety, right? Because she's obviously not by the staircase. And then she comes back and she's like, oh, sorry, I was hanging out with the guy she was talking to because she was also talking to someone. And we're like, okay, didn't think anything of it. And we sleep at the party. She drops me off at home after. Like, her mom picks us up from the party.
She drops off her boyfriend. Well, the guy she's talking to.
The guy she's talking to drops her off back at the
Okay,
party. And then we continue, like, hanging out. So we continue hanging out, and then her mom drops me off in the morning, and then they go home.
Where was the guy that you were with? Well, your boyfriend at the time?
He was hanging out with his friends.
At the other party?
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
The next day at school, I don't know if it was like a Saturday the prom was or a Sunday. The next day at school, our mutual friend comes up to me in class and she's like, oh, can you go outside of the classroom? And I was like, oh, okay, why? And she's like, oh, your bestie wants to tell you something. And I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. And then I see my best friend like outside and she's like crying. And I was like, of course, my first reaction is like, oh my God, are you okay?
Right.
Like, why are you crying? What's wrong? And then she tells me that she hooked up with that guy. And I was like, what?
That guy
that's
being
crazy. The one I was dating.
Wow.
Yeah. And at that time, I didn't know the timeline, so I didn't even realize it was on prom night. So she lied to me and she told me it was some other day. And I was like,
oh, and that was a staircase incident. Where she just disappeared.
Yeah. So, but I didn't know because she lied about when it was. Because she knows how bad that sounds,
right? Yeah, that sounds bad.
So, like, whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever. We're not friends anymore. Like, I go back into my classroom and then...
Wait. So, what was your reaction? That's what I want to know.
My reaction was like, holy shit.
This is your best friend?
Yeah. I was like, this is crazy.
Betrayal.
Betrayal. That was my first, I feel like, betrayal. Yeah. Type of feeling I've ever had in my life. But now it's like a great story to tell, so I don't mind telling that story because it's such a long time ago, and I feel like it made me who I am today. So.
But why do you think that happened? I got you. But why do you think that happened in the first place, though? You guys ever hung out with a crew together, or it was you, her, and him?
Yeah, actually, that night I think he drove us to the party from prom.
But that's not the first time he met her.
No. Because everyone in Kauai, they know each other, especially in
right.
school. Yeah, everyone knows each other. But actually, now that I think about it, he drove us to the party or something, or he picked us up. Okay, I think he picked us up to go to his party, and then he dropped us back off at our party. And for some reason, she wanted, so he had a truck, and he drove standard, right?
Yeah.
And there was only 2 seats. But for some reason, she was like, can I sit in the middle? I was like naive, right? Because it's my best friend. I don't think anything of it. She sits in the middle. This is the shift knob, and she sits like this, like her legs are open. But to me, that wasn't like a red flag because I was so naive. I was like, oh, she's just like, because she was kind of like scandalous too. So I just like thought she was just like being herself or something. But red flag. So yeah, that also happened. So that should have been a sign.
So she slept with him, or she was just hooking up with him?
She hooked up with him that night.
Hooked up meaning just made out?
No.
Oh, slept with him?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what happened to them after? Did they end up like dating or something?
No.
Like that? Was she ever flirty with him while you were with her in general? Besides that car seat thing?
I don't remember. There could have been times, but I feel like I'm pretty like secure, so I don't really.
Oh, you don't have jealousy.
That kind of things. I mean, I get jealous, but like at that point, I was just like in my head in high school, I was like, if someone can like take you from me, I don't want you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still kind of have that mindset.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. I'm not going to fight for someone that doesn't want to fight for me. You know what I mean?
I agree with that, actually.
Yeah. So after she told me, I went back in the room, and then my friend was like, well, when did she tell you it was? And I was like, oh, she told me it was like Thursday or whatever, or Sunday or something like that. And she was like, no, she did it when after prom, when we were where she was supposed to be by the staircase. That was when she did it. And I was so pissed.
Right.
I don't know, I think I texted the guy, and I was like, don't ever talk to me again. Like,
oh, snap. You never asked him his side?
And I blocked him.
You blocked him? Oh,
no.
Closed case, not even
Yeah, because that was enough for me. I was like, I think he got detention because he flipped a table in his classroom.
That day?
Yeah. That's his like karma, right? Detention.
I mean, the slightest degree.
So I guess he like flipped a table in the classroom, and he flipped a table in the courtyard or something like that, and then he got detention, and then he ended up never mind. But so actually later on, I ended up forgiving both of them.
No,
because
why?
Also naive. When I was in high school too, I just felt like it doesn't make sense to hold on to like grudges or like, what is that called? I don't know, just like that energy. You don't need to hold on to that.
It's terrible,
to,
yeah.
Like, let it go, to like forgive. You don't have to forget, but just like forgive and just be like good. And like I tried to give them another chance. With the friend, it didn't work because I tried to like introduce her into our friend group again, and my other friends were not having it. But they were really good friends, you know, they're having my back. But
who reached out first?
She reached out.
Oh, as an apology.
When she was drunk. And I felt bad. She was like crying, and she was drunk. She's like, I'm so sorry, like I miss you, like I regret it. I want to make it work. And then I don't know. I was just naive. I didn't really see her the same or like care about her anymore, but I just didn't want her to feel like hated by other people, you know, because I don't think anyone deserves that. And I think like the whole school knew about it too, and like I could tell people were like treating her differently. Yeah. Because everyone.
Wow, everybody talks like that.
Everyone talks on Kauai. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I still like, even though she like did me dirty, I still had like love for her, cause she, you know. So I just didn't want her to feel like.
And what about the guy?
The guy, I tried to forgive him too. That didn't work.
Why?
And actually, she ended up saying that she was pregnant by him to get him to stay, and she had a history of lying and saying that she was pregnant with guys.
Dude, that's a crazy girl.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I knew she was lying, so I texted her. And I was like, you guys are gonna have a child. I knew she was lying, but like I was like, you guys are gonna have a child. Like I can't be with you, you know, like. And he's like, well, I'll still take care of the child, but I still want to be with you. And I was like, what world are we living in right now? Because we're in like high school, and like this is like too much drama, you know.
But okay, so that kind of thing, especially at your age, you were kind of young. Does that doesn't scar you in terms of like how you think about the next friend? I mean, you don't pay it, because I've had that done to me too.
Really?
Yeah, and I've paid attention to the next people. I'm like, let's see if this person does the same thing.
I mean, I guess now I know there's always like a chance.
Always a
but
chance.
I know everyone's different, so I'm not gonna hold someone else's mistakes
accountable.
Against, like future people.
Right.
Because I've also had really genuine like good girlfriends. Yeah, I've had bad ones too, but like mostly good.
What were the other bad ones? Worse than this?
No, not worse than this. But I definitely had girlfriends that like would value a guy she just met. I've had girlfriends that were interested in the guy that was pursuing me, I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
How did that make you feel? And what was that must be a little bit tricky.
I just feel like it just shows more about their character, so it's someone I shouldn't be friends with anyways, because.
What?
Yeah. No?
If someone's attractive, you can't blame them for that.
Wait, what do you mean?
You're saying that, let's say a guy's chasing you, but prior to them chasing you, your friend found him attractive and that bothers you?
Well, if they're my friend, I think if I had a friend and they were talking to someone or like kind of like starting to develop feelings for someone, right. I wouldn't go for them. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
the guy.
The guy.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like there's girls that are like that.
Oh, but you didn't tell me your side. You said that they were chasing you. You didn't tell me that you were also agreeing to be chased. I thought you meant
yeah.
I thought you meant it was just like you're like, oh, I'm not interested.
Of course not. Yeah.
Okay,
but
that makes sense. Okay.
In that situation, there's a lot of girls that don't value friendship over.
Oh, I know a lot of guys like that too.
Crazy. I know it's crazy because I feel like your girlfriends are like for life.
Depends. Depends who. You're more trusting.
Huh?
You're more trusting. I don't hold anyone like close to me unless they're family. I got rid of my friends when I was already in pharmacy school. I was like, you're all out. I'm like, I don't trust any of you. But when that happened, who did you hold more accountable, the guy or the girl?
The girl. Ooh. Does that sound bad? But it's because
sounds interesting. I'm just curious why.
We're so close. Like me and the guy were not as close as me and my friend. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Like I would have I feel like a guy cheating on you is more expected than like.
Oh, you learned from the last podcast.
Best friend, huh?
I said you learned from the last podcast.
Oh. But it's more expected than like your best friend hooking up with your dude.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
Like that's true. Just like
a guy is pretty
wild.
Predictable.
I just think that's wild. There's so many guys in the world.
Okay, so you don't judge women, like slightly you do, but in terms of men, do you pay attention to how they behave with your friends now?
Yeah, kind of. I guess. I pay attention to how they respect my boundaries and stuff.
What are your boundaries? I think it's respectful. Like when you're dating a girl, no touching their friends. Me personally, like I don't even like when I'm dating someone. I don't even touch their friends. No hugs, no hello. Nothing. I just go like this.
I think hugs are okay just because like in Hawaii that's like the culture.
Right.
Yeah.
But I just prefer like I prefer that in terms of like you should be extremely respectful. You're dating her, don't touch her.
See, if a guy did that for me, I would like that though.
100%. Yeah.
I would really like.
I think that's the minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I understand that like hugging is like.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Everybody's different. Some people do need to say hello like that. I do agree with you. You don't seem like a jealous person, but what is the most jealous thing you've ever done out of jealousy?
I can get jealous.
Ooh, tell us.
Not jealous. I'm more like possessive.
Ooh.
I guess.
Uh-huh.
Like if we're dating, I just want you to be for me and no one else.
Right.
Not jealous though.
Say it again?
Not jealous though.
Okay. What are the boundaries of what he's allowed to do?
No flirting. Definitely no flirting.
What do you qualify as flirting?
Just like that. There's like an energy to flirting, I feel like. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't like that. Mm-hmm. Definitely no touching. I mean, hugging is okay, but no touching. Mm-hmm. No, like, if we're at the club, no dancing.
No dancing?
Of course.
With you, but no one else?
Yeah. I guess just normal boundaries that any girl would have.
I don't know, man. I've been interviewing some people, and they've been telling me, like, a lot of guys get away with a bunch of shit. And I'm like, how do you not pick up on
like
these
what?
things? One of the very first guests I had, she said her guy she was talking to was, like, groping one of her best friends at the club. She's like, oh, like, whatever. Like, I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, you didn't think anything of it.
That's terrible.
I'm like, that's just
that's
weird.
Disgusting.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, that's terrible. I hope she dumped him.
She did, actually. Okay, back in the day, in the sexual marketplace, a man's job, being like a doctor or a pilot, was deemed, like, attractive. Mm-hmm. In 2023, what is considered an attractive job for a man? Meaning, like, what's the instant, like, panty dropper for a girl?
I still think those jobs are attractive. I think like
which jobs?
The doctor and pilot thing. I think
the pilot and the doctor.
Honestly, I think any profession that a guy is passionate about and progresses in is attractive. Yeah.
Any though?
I think it's. I mean, like you obviously have to have some goals, some type of goals. Yeah, and be able to like provide. Yeah, I think as long as you're passionate and you progress, you succeed in your.
Yeah, but like any job, if I wanted to own a chain of janitorial, like, you know.
I mean, places. Maybe if you eventually own your own janitorial company, as long as you're like passionate about it, because I think like that's unattractive when someone hates their job.
You like your job?
Yeah, I like my job. Yeah.
God bless you.
I mean, I'm just like any normal person. You're like, like I wish I didn't have to go to work today, but like I do like my jobs. Yeah.
Okay, now vice versa. What's a very attractive job for a woman?
What do you guys like?
No job.
No job, really?
We want stay-home wife.
Aww,
no, I'm just kidding.
Cute.
Go ahead.
No, that's cute though. I mean, I would think it's the same way. No, that's just something that she enjoys doing and is happy.
We do not like women with like high I'm gonna get shit on this. I know. I already know, man. I already know the comments that are coming. We don't like lawyers, girls
Really?
that because like
I
all
think
you're
that's cool.
proving for a girl,
Yeah.
that means you have a fast mouth and you could talk back.
But
You know what I
you
mean?
can.
You argue your way out of
But then
things.
she can defend you. She can verbally defend you.
Why would you need that? I mean, like.
How do you get into trouble?
How men think is just like, yo, this bitch is gonna sue me one day, and she's gonna win.
That's a bad way to think about it.
Like
Well,
doctors also, because female doctors, they're never home. It's just like male doctors, they're never home.
I think it's. Do you know who Sydney Sweeney is?
Oh yeah, I love her.
Do you know she's also like a car mechanic?
Yeah.
I think that's so cool.
She has a
I think
YouTube.
That's cool. Oh, she does?
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, she has a YouTube. I think she used to post YouTube videos, and then she made like a YouTube video saying like, oh, I just randomly got famous one day because people recognize me. They're like, is that Sydney Sweeney fixing cars?
I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys think like not. You said last time you don't want like a CEO, right?
No, it's just like, it's a masculine position, I think I told you last time, it's like a guy saying like, I want to be a ballerina princess. It's just like, could you do it? Yeah, go for it. But like, people don't want you to do that.
Girls, it's good that they can provide for themselves though too.
Yeah, okay, so last time you told me this, and I do agree with you still, and it hurts me still to this day. Because I said, you guys realize that this is not attractive to men. You put me in my spot. You're like, yeah, but do you realize we don't care? Not everything revolves around us being. I was like, I never thought about it like that. I was like, yeah, you guys don't really care about us anymore.
I think girls are just
doing their own thing.
Like, when you meet the right person, you'll meet the right person, and they'll like you for who you are. Yeah.
Okay. Now I want you to think about this one. What makes you different than any other girl? Meaning unique qualities about you.
I feel like I'm just like a regular girl. But
we all have unique qualities.
Say maybe my morals, maybe my mindset. I mean, I'm not saying like I'm not better than anyone, but
what are your morals?
I just don't want to do harm to any other person.
Yeah, I get.
And I always want to like be my authentic self and like always be the best version of myself. Yeah.
Do you read?
Sometimes.
Oh, I feel like things I read in my books, like you speak a lot of. Like
really?
Yeah, I read a lot about like mastering your mind, meditative practices, and like a lot of things you said, like, oh, don't hold on to. I let go of that because I didn't want to hold on to grudge because it's a negative energy. I'm like, I've heard that so many times.
Yeah. I'm very like introspective, I guess. Yeah.
You observe a lot of things. Okay.
And my heart.
Yeah, you do have a good heart. I didn't catch this until I rewatched our interview. You said you had a lot of dating experience.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that until I rewatched it. I'm like, how come I didn't pick up on that?
I've had like
how many relationships were you in?
Maybe like 5.
Oh, I think you did say that. Okay. That's not that much though. Or is that too much?
I think that's a lot. Because I know people that have been in like maybe like 2 to 4. Actually, maybe I've been in more. There's some I don't really count because
flings.
Like, rebounds.
Oh yeah, you told me about that. Okay.
Yeah. Like it was like official, but I think I wasn't in my right state of mind.
Right. Okay, so among all those people, your collection of men, what's the lowest you ever settled for, physically?
I don't want to say that I ever settled because that's very hurtful to the other person. So I've never settled, but I've dated someone that I was totally incompatible with.
In what sense? Physically?
What do you mean physically? Like,
oh, I thought you said physically.
Oh no, I thought you said physically.
I said in what sense? You said incompatible?
Yeah, I was incompatible with them. Yeah.
In what sense?
Yeah. Wait, what?
Incompatible how?
Oh, okay. They just, what I could give to them, they weren't reciprocating.
Like what?
But because I was like so vulnerable, I was like accepting it because I was in my rebound.
Can you elaborate more on that? I want to know what exactly that was.
When I'm in a relationship, I feel like we're partners, like we're a team. So like if we're on a team, I'm going to want to lift you up, right? That person I was with, they didn't want to lift me up. They wanted to like bring me down.
What? So they criticize you?
They criticized me. Like when I wanted to do nice things for them, like they wouldn't really do anything nice back. Well, it's not like transactional, but it's just like you can't just be giving the whole time. You know what I mean? And I think in that relationship did affect me because in my future relationships, I gave less upfront as before.
Right.
Yeah.
So you were kind of guarded because this guy kind of ruined it.
Yeah.
Huh. That guy fucked it up.
Yeah. Well, actually, now I'm more like self-aware of it though. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So you would pay attention to how they are first, and then like, okay, now I'll reciprocate.
Yeah. I think we talked about that before too.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. And you refuse to describe him physically. I'm not talking about.
I'm not saying, okay, this is not a bad thing. I'm just describing him, right? And I'm not settling because that's like not very nice. He was shorter, I guess, in guy terms, but for me, he was tall because I'm 5'2", right?
Right.
So he was like 5'8",
Okay.
5'9". That's like tall for me. And then he was really skinny and he didn't really take care of himself. But he was handsome. Like I thought.
Oh,
he was
face-wise.
really handsome. Yeah.
You didn't encourage him to go to the gym or anything like that? And this is a fling.
To
Rebound.
me, it was
Rebound.
a fling. But he asked me to be his girlfriend. I said, yeah.
Oh,
And
Brandy.
then in my head, like I've never had this happen to me. In my head, I was like a voice in my head screaming like, "You're not ready," but I was so scared. I was just like, "Okay."
You really do not know how to say yes. I mean, like, no.
I just feel bad. Yeah, I don't.
You
wanna
can't live
hurt
your
other
life
people.
like that. You're gonna say yes
I'm
to a
aware
bunch
of
of.
that now. I'm aware.
You
of
got
that.
better though?
Yeah.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Did you come on this podcast because I forced you?
No, no way. I like being here.
Okay. I was about to say it.
No,
I was
I
like, I
like
did
being
ask
here.
her twice though. So would you choose a 5'6" to 5'5" guy, a shorter guy but handsome, or a 6'2" guy but ugly?
I would choose the handsome guy.
Which handsome guy? The shorter one.
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
I like someone that looks nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, can you explain to me the psychology behind, and you know this is true, a lot of women, they will go after the tall guy who's straight up ugly. And I've seen this, and I've had like,
Yeah.
I can't get sued for this. I'll say my patients, but you don't know who I'm talking about. They come in with their boyfriends. I'm like, what, bro? It must be the height. There's nothing else.
Maybe it's that feeling of like they can protect you.
Security.
Yeah.
That's it.
Maybe. I mean, girls like to feel like protected or like feminine, I guess, you know?
What's the biggest range you've ever seen?
What do you mean?
You know how they say like the shortest girls always want the tallest guys?
Oh, well, my ex was 6'8".
Holy
Yeah.
cow!
He was like a skyscraper, and I'm 5'2".
What
So
what
he's
was
like-
his profession? Basketball player or something?
No.
Holy cow!
Jet ski operator.
Jet ski operator.
Mhm.
And the wind didn't blow him away?
No. But he looked really funny on the jet ski because
Yeah.
he's so tall. Yeah.
This is a what, Asian guy or a white guy?
A white guy. Actually, he was from Hawaii, but so he was kind of like local boy, but
Mhm.
his ethnicity was white.
What kind of things do you value in a guy for dating? Because I remember last time I asked you this specific question, I was like, what do you expect when you're dating a guy? And you're like, oh, I have no expectations nowadays.
Well, it's not that I don't have expectations. Well, I guess I don't have expectations of like, oh, this is what I'm going to get out of this guy.
Mhm.
It's more like, I do have standards though. And
Tell me
like,
what your standards
things that I like. I really like when they know who they are. I like honesty. Oh, my number one thing though is kindness. Like you have to be
I was
a
going
kind
to say, I was
person.
like, watch her say kindness. You
Yeah.
have a kind personality.
Oh, thank
There's
you.
no way you would be with someone like an asshole.
Yeah,
Okay.
they have to be kind. And I've tried to be with like assholes, but it doesn't work because I notice how they treat other people too, and that's kind of like a turn off.
Mhm.
So they have to be kind. I like funny.
Oh, yeah.
I
I was
love
going to
funny
ask that
guys.
here. Okay.
Yeah, honesty and communication is really important.
Mhm.
I'm not the best communicator either, but they have to be like willing to communicate and try to communicate because I'm not the best communicator, but I try.
I feel like you are a good communicator.
Really?
Why do you say you're not a good communicator? What's your issues that you're lacking?
Maybe like not as much in romantic relationships. I
Feelings.
just think like when my feelings get involved or like because sometimes I could either like shut down or I could like blow up if I shut down for too long. Sometimes I like I have to balance this mindset, but I go back and forth between like, oh, this person isn't meant for me because this happened, and like, oh, maybe this happened, so we should talk about it so we can fix it.
Right.
So like that part
Right.
also.
Are you a forgiving person?
I'm a pretty forgiving person.
How many
because
strikes do guys get with you?
Two.
Two.
Yeah, I think two. Or two chances. I guess that might be
Strikes, yeah.
different, yeah.
You were saying before?
Yeah, I'm forgiving because I understand people, I think.
Mhm.
I think I understand why people do certain things. And, like, I understand, like, that their actions may not align with their true inner feelings and, like,
Okay.
intentions,
Mhm.
you know?
When you're initially talking to a guy, how often do you want them to message you and vice versa?
Morning, at least, and night.
Ooh.
Yeah. And
Guaranteed.
it's, like, here and there throughout the day, it's nice to know, like, how you're doing and stuff
Right.
like that, yeah.
Right. Do you know there's a whole thing about like men understanding that? I'm not
Really?
saying necessarily that you just said that, but we can translate that differently for men. So we say when a girl tells us to do that, never do it
Why?
because you're trying to tame us.
I think for maybe for me, I don't know if for all girls, it's more like good morning and good night kind of
Right.
thing. Like,
Okay, so your intentions are kind. I don't actually disagree with you on that because I don't feel like you're an asshole. I actually do agree. You seem like a nice person. But I know girls, they want to put guy in his place. They like, oh, I want a good morning and a good night. Because I've heard this before. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I know why you want this. Because you just want the control. You know what I mean?
See, I feel like I don't want to control a person. I want to be with a person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But you see, like, you're also like 27?
Yeah.
So you're smarter and you're like, oh, I'm done with these stupid games already.
Yeah, maybe not.
Now we're coming on to the fun part of the podcast.
Okay.
Okay, how do girls give signs that they're interested? And please don't give me nonsense. Just give me the truth.
Maybe like smile.
If only you could see my laptop right here.
Like,
Smile, question mark.
Extra nice.
No, let's say I'm on the street. How are you going to give me a sign that you're interested in me? We both find each other like physically attractive. We walk by it. And how are you going to give me a
Maybe,
sign like, oh, it's okay to approach?
Smile and wave.
And wave?
Yeah.
Have you ever waved at a guy?
No. But like if I did see someone I was interested, maybe I would.
Have you ever given signs to someone to approach you?
I've actually approached someone once.
Okay.
Yeah. It was just like the right time and the right place, I think, because I had broken up with one of my exes, and it had been like a while, so I was like kind of like not talking to anyone, like doing my own thing, not focusing on dating. There's this guy at the bar, and I was like, oh, this guy's cute, and I could tell he was like looking at me, but he didn't like come up to me or anything. And like I remember in the beginning of the night, I was like my friends like, oh, like maybe I should like be more forward. Like my friends were trying to get me to be more forward because I'm very like
Reserved.
in my own world, reserved. So like if guys hint at me, I don't notice. They do, like you have to like look at them and like no. They're telling me all these things. I was like, oh, I just don't do that when I go out. But they're telling me, oh, like maybe we should like you should be more forward. It's fun, no. Because I have really forward friends.
Right.
Like that always make the first move.
Really?
That always, that will text first, like all this kind of stuff. So like be the first to pursue and everything. So that night I just like went up to him and I was like, hey. I could already tell he was like staring at me, but like, and then we ended up dating. So
Really?
Yeah.
That was one of your boyfriends?
Yeah.
Wow. And where did you meet him? Like Mai Tais?
At house.
Oh, it's a different bar.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said you're not good at picking up things like that. The cues that women give are less than what men give. Because you were...
I feel like definitely right.
Right? Because like a guy will stare at you. You said
Yeah.
yourself, like, oh, he was staring at me. Like, bro, we could not be more obvious sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
But a girl's smile, it doesn't go a long way
That's true,
sometimes.
'cause-
You know? I remember a girl smiled at me 3 times one time, and I was on the fence. I was like, I have no idea. It could be either way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my friend's like, oh, I think she's interested. I'm like, imagine it not, though.
Yeah.
I was like, it could literally be a weird situation. So what other cues can you give or, like, help in terms of, like, advice for men to pick up on these cues?
Just don't be afraid of rejection because that's very subjective. You know what I mean? Like, you could just maybe, like, not be their type, or maybe they're just, like, having a bad day. Like, it has nothing to do with you. So I think it's always worth, like, a shot, right?
It's worth a shot. The success rate
And
is
then
low, though, for guys.
Don't be so aggressive with it. Like, be more like chill. Like, hey, you know, I don't know. Like, get to know her. Like, hey, what's your name? Don't be like, hey, you look really nice tonight. I don't know.
I remember you told me that last time.
Yeah.
Don't compliment her at all in terms of like
you
appearance.
compliment her, just like don't overdo it.
Right. What's a good way to compliment someone by sounding chill?
Like if you first meet them,
Right.
I really like your shoes.
So
like,
all the way on the bottom.
Yeah, or like, hey,
Stuff from the
I
bottom
think you
up.
got a cool vibe, or I like your energy.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that would go a long
That
way.
would okay. What about smile? I think complimenting a smile is pretty okay.
Yeah,
It's
smile's
not like, oh,
good
I'm
too.
staring at you.
Smile is good, yeah.
So you're 27 years old. Where do you see yourself in turning 30 or in the next 5 years? Is there kids involved? Or is there a husband?
I mean, I don't have like a strict timeline, but I would definitely at some point want to get married first and then have kids. I'm not sure about like when though, the timeline on that. I think whenever it happens.
How many kids
I
do
want
you
to say before my late 30s.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I noticed this also among Asian women. You guys do not want kids unless you're married.
Yes. Yeah.
That's not allowed, right?
Yeah, I don't want kids.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no problem with that. Just for me personally, yeah.
It's
I
more
wanna
of a
get married
security. It's just
first.
like, you know, you're serious.
Yeah, I just think like I want to have that commitment to each other. Like a strong commitment before having kids with someone, and I want my kids to be raised in like a married household, you know? Yeah, I want them to like grow up with 2 parents living in the same house. Yeah.
If your husband gets out of shape and vice versa, would you leave them?
No, I would just go to the gym with them.
What if they refuse?
I would just still encourage them as much as I could, because if that's your husband, like that's basically your life partner. So you're not gonna just give up on them, you know?
But do you agree that, let's say a guy's married to a girl and she ends up gaining a lot of weight, and he asks her nicely, like, oh, can you lose that weight? And she doesn't. And the marriage goes south in terms of like divorce. Do you agree with his decision of leaving because she's not listening?
I think that there's always a way to like convince someone to do something, not convince someone to do something, but to like encourage someone to do something. Maybe if he was like, hey, you know, like I'm really concerned because like you gained a lot of weight, like I want us to be healthy for our kids, like we can go together, like when we like we don't have to like be strict about it, like we can go like gradually over time, or like, oh, let's go take a walk with the kids. Like there's ways to do it, you know, like you don't have to.
Yeah. Okay. So I got heat last time for the comments for this. I think people misunderstood what we were talking about. When I asked, and let's clarify this, I said, whose lives are harder? And I don't know if you read the comment.
I saw some of that. I was like, oh no, did I like set it off?
I mean, a lot of people were like a lot of people were offended. A lot of people like agreed with you. They were like, oh, finally a girl who understands. But again, let's clarify this shit. We're talking about a sexual dating marketplace. We're not talking about your lives in general that you went through, school and cancer and death. And I'm talking about like dating scene. Who has it harder? It's men, guys. She agrees. We're not talking about your overall life or how high school is going.
Not society in general, but
not society in general, 100%.
Dating wise,
dating. I think that. I mean, like, I don't understand why people didn't get that on that dating podcast.
I'm sorry if we offended you.
What's the weirdest thing you believe in?
I don't know if this is weird, but I think like in my life, everything happens for a reason, or everything that's meant to happen is gonna happen. I don't know. There's like so many weird things in my life that like align. So I really think that that's true. Like
what? Coincidental, right? So you
like for example, like that when I went up to that guy that one time.
Oh, at that time.
So that was like, it just so happened that night I was off that night. We randomly went out. They were telling me beforehand like to be more forward. I think that guy too, they weren't even planning on going there or something, but they just ended up going there. So it was just like, and the bar was like empty. Like it was pretty empty.
It was just them.
It was just like me, our group, him and his group, and like maybe a couple more groups. So I think like stuff like that is like meant to happen, like when you're meant to meet someone,
right?
You know.
How long were you dating him for?
Honestly, I don't remember. Maybe like 6 months.
6 months. And why did it end?
We were long distance. So also that too, like he didn't even live there. But I feel like that relationship really changed my perspective on things too.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah. So that's why.
What did you learn?
I just learned that there's like a whole other world out there. Because up until that point, I think I had dated like the same type of person.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you got your first out of the bubble guy.
Yeah.
So what did you learn? Was he the toxic one that you were talking about?
Actually, he was more healthy than me.
Oh.
And then that's also how I learned like I was really
unhealthy.
Toxic. Yeah.
You were toxic.
Yes.
God damn, I would never assume you would be toxic.
Well, you know what's toxic? When you don't realize you're toxic.
What did he tell you that you were toxic about?
No, I just like, you know, I'm very like introspective. Like I can admit when I'm wrong. So like.
Yeah, I like that about you actually.
Yeah, when things ended, I kind of like looked back on it and I was like, yeah, I didn't really, my actions didn't align with like how I felt.
Like what? Like what? What did you do that he was complaining about?
Like I was kind of like giving the bare minimum, but that's not how I felt. But that's just because I had been in that other rebound relationship. I felt like I was withholding a lot of myself.
Yeah. Isn't it sad how humans are? Because of the past, we'll blame the next one for what the past did. Yeah. I've done that too. It's so sad. Yeah. It's just sad for the people that get into the fire of that.
Yeah, it is sad.
Are you a PDA type of person?
I'm like a hold hands, like.
Oh, you're so cute, Brandy.
Really? I like hold hands. I'm not like or like maybe like, be close to each other. I'm not like a make out in public. Okay. I don't like that. I feel that's very intimate.
Intimate out in public, okay.
Are you?
I know I don't look like it, but I am kind of like PDA.
Really?
I'm like touchy and playful.
Oh, I like playful, but like
I'm very
will you make out with someone?
Not like a make out session. Like I'll kiss him.
Oh yeah, kiss.
Like I'll bite him, kind of thing. Yeah.
You bite him?
Like in a funny way. Not like I'm sending you to the hospital. Why are girls late to everything?
We just want to look good. Maybe that's why.
Is that really why?
I think girls, we really enjoy the process of getting ready sometimes. So for me, like if I like play some music and I'm just like doing my thing, I'm just
vibing. Okay.
Maybe that's why.
When you're dating, who pays for things? I don't think I asked this last time.
Usually in my opinion, or in my experience, the guy pays for things.
Everything.
Because I think, yeah, or not everything. Like, of course, I'll pay for some things. Like, but usually I feel like...
What kind of things do you pay for? Like toilet paper?
Yeah, or like little things here and there. But I think, like, usually, like, when we go out to eat, usually the guy pays. Because then it feels like a date.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But of course, I'll pay sometimes, though, if I, like, feel like I want to treat you to something.
Right. So generally speaking, 50-50 is out of the question. Okay. What if the guy asks you for 50-50?
I mean, that's fine if we...
Is it really fine, though? If you go out with a guy and he says, let's say date 2, right? First one he paid.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. I just,
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, if he was having, like, hard times, I guess, and, like, this was my person.
No, that doesn't count. That's different because you're
okay.
more understandable when you're in a relationship. It's like, okay, everybody goes through a hard time.
Yeah.
I'm talking about strictly you're just seeing him for the
Dating?
first time. Yeah.
For the first time, no.
For a second time, yeah.
No, because then I feel like you're not pursuing me seriously if
Yeah,
you're going to
it's just-
split the bill with me, right?
Yeah.
That's, like, a bad first impression.
Yeah, right now it's really trending. People are like, oh, if she's being rude on the date, just fucking leave her with the bill. I'm like, dude, there's 2 things I live by. No matter how she mistreats you, pay for the bill and drop her off. I'm like, you're accountable for both, right?
Yeah.
I feel like you should always, like the way Brandy says it, I think you should pay for the date.
Yeah.
We take forever to get ready.
Maybe you did something to make her feel like she had to be rude, you know?
Oh, no, I didn't have any recent.
No. I mean,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
speaking in that circumstance.
Are there any warning signs or red flags that you believe or like indicate that a person could be cheating or will cheat?
Girls, we have this, like, strong intuition. And I feel like when we have this intuition, someone's not being faithful or honest. Sometimes it ends up being true. It depends. Like, I feel like if something is off in, like, your partner and your usual routine, that's, like, a sign.
That is a sign.
Some type of, like, change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a sign.
Have you ever had those signs with any of the previous guys?
Kind of. I've had some. Yeah.
Like what? Bring it up now. What's
Maybe,
their
say,
hashtag?
like, usually if they text or call at nighttime and they don't that night. Yeah. Stuff like that.
When you're talking to someone, do you prefer texts or calls?
I guess, like, a mix of both.
A mix of both.
Yeah, it depends on, like, the situation.
From time to time.
Yeah.
I love speaking to your age group because sometimes when I interview younger girls, they're like, oh, I like when the guy plays games with me. I'm like, how could you guys still like this? I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm so
I don't
annoying.
like that.
How important is a sense of humor to you?
I love when they're funny. I just, that's so attractive when they can make me laugh. You know, like, you don't have to be, like, the most, like, good-looking guy, but, like, if you're funny, then, yeah, I really like that.
1 out of 10, how important is sense of humor?
Maybe, like, 8.
8.
Right? You guys have to have,
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like I've met some guys that are dry and they're dating girls. I'm just like, how did she stay with you? I feel like funny people last longer. Okay, what are your thoughts on age differences in dating?
I don't know, because there's, like, so many different age ranges. Like,
What's the oldest you'll date?
6 years older than me.
Oh my God, I thought you said 60 for a second.
No, 6 years older
Bro,
than me.
that's
No.
way too much. 6 years older, 27.
Actually,
Okay.
I don't, yeah. Because I want to have, remember, I want to have my first kid with someone who is also their first kid. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I want to have our first kid together. So I don't think I would date someone too old
Right.
if they already have kids. I mean, of course, if
Oh,
I
see. I see what you're
if
saying.
I
So
have
assuming
developed
they're
feelings
already
for them.
older, they probably have children. I see.
That's what I would assume, but
Have you ever had anyone interested in you that had children?
maybe, yeah.
Somebody came to mind. I met a girl once, and she said, I'm turned on by fathers with children.
Maybe she likes that they have the ability to be a good dad.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what she said.
Yeah.
And she was single, and she had no children.
Mm.
I was like, that is so interesting. I've never heard a girl say that before.
Yeah. That's actually why my mom liked my dad, because he was a good dad.
Prior.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you believe at love at first sight?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you had that instant attraction?
Yeah.
With who?
A guy.
Girls tell me all the time, like, oh, it's not about physical attraction. It's not physical. I'm like, but then you guys tell me other things like, oh, like we've seen a guy and he's like super attractive. And we believe in love
I
at
think
first sight.
it's not about just, like, your looks. It's about also, like, your energy. Because I think attraction isn't all just, like, physical appearance,
yes,
right? Yeah.
Tell me about the love at first sight. How many times did that happen to you
Once or twice.
in your life?
Yeah.
Does it get worse as you get older?
No.
It doesn't
I don't-
matter the age.
I don't think. Actually, maybe. I mean, I definitely think it could happen.
And then when you had that love at first sight, was the interaction with them, or you just saw them across the room type of thing?
From interacting.
With them.
Yeah.
So they have to talk to you 1st.
Mhm.
Okay. This is so common. This happens so common. And I've seen this happen to my friends. It happened to me.
Hmm.
Cock blocking.
Cock blocking.
Cock
Like what?
blocking. So this is what happens most to a lot of guys, okay? And guys, back me up. Stop fucking killing me in the comments. A guy will pursue a girl in a group, and she'll be like the attractive one, right? And then she'll vibe with him, like, oh yeah, you know, like she'll flirt with him, but it's always the one who's unattractive in the group. They'll be like, no, my friend's not interested. It's like,
Oh.
who the fuck asked you? I don't know how many times that has happened
Yeah.
in my life, and I've seen it with my friends. Have you ever had a situation where your friend cock blocked you?
Yes.
Tell us.
It was just when I was younger. Like I was probably like I was underage going to the clubs, you know. So, not underage like
No, I
not
got what you're
18,
saying.
but like not 21. And I've always had like older friends.
Mm-hmm.
So my older friends would definitely like shelter me.
Really?
Yeah, if someone was talking to me, they'd be like, "No, go away."
And were you
Like,
upset
very
at that?
aggressive. I don't
Not.
really remember because it was such a long time ago. But like I think I don't mind it because I don't really go out to like look for guys. I go out to have fun anyways, so it didn't really faze me.
Yeah, but guys it would be like, oh, we missed that opportunity, you know? It would hurt us. Yeah. But that always happens, and I don't know how many times I've seen like people post and they're like, oh, she said no to me because of her friend. I'm like, yeah, it's always the unattractive one.
So weird.
It always happens. But have you ever cock blocked anyone?
Well, actually, when I was at that age, we all kind of like maybe,
Cock blocked each other?
yeah, maybe not me as much, but like my one friend did a lot.
So we talked last time about red flags, and we never once touched green flags. I know you said you want like kindness and stuff, but what are some green flags for you?
Green flags, good communicator. They have like a good attitude about life. I think that's a green flag. Ability to admit they're wrong.
Yo,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Not all the people have that.
you
I
like-
love those answers. Green flags. I love girls that have good relationships with their family.
That's true. That's
I
a
like.
green
I
flag.
hate people that disrespect their mothers.
Me too. Yeah.
You know, it's just like, bro, it's your mom.
Gives me like an icky feeling.
100%. Like, you don't call your mom once a week? Who does that? What do you think is a girl's sexual prime?
Isn't it like 30 or something?
For a girl?
Well, I don't know. Isn't that what? Oh, I thought that was like the scientific thing. No, I feel like
It's
I've
for a
heard that.
guy.
Oh, that's for a guy.
Yeah, 30 plus.
I don't know.
Like her
What do I
sexual peak.
think? Like, what do you mean? Like,
So between what ages is a girl's sexual prime in terms of like the dating marketplace?
mid 20s?
Mid 20s?
Early 20s?
You don't really, you have no idea?
No,
Wow. What do you think?
maybe mid 20s.
Mid 20s.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like that's when you start becoming who you are, like your mid 20s.
And what about for a guy?
Late 20s?
No, we're not worth anything in our late 20s.
Oh.
For guys, it's
30s?
like, yeah, for guys,
30s?
it's 30s
Oh,
plus.
Okay.
Yeah. Guys don't have their value until like 29 plus.
Okay.
Do you agree though?
I'm learning things.
I'm learning things.
I guess I could see that. Yeah, I could see that.
What is the sexiest body part you find on a man?
Their arms.
Arms.
Yeah.
Biceps.
Their butt.
And their butt?
Yeah.
Wait, would you be bothered if a guy had a nicer butt than you?
A little bit. But, I mean, that's a good thing, you know?
So you don't mind?
Yeah. I'm okay if my partner has a bigger butt than me. I'll be a little jealous, but
Okay. I usually hear people say like arms and back.
yeah, that's attractive. I like arms because I can like hold on to something.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
When you're walking.
Yeah.
Okay. This is for the guys. We really want to know this question. Why do women find Pete Davidson attractive?
It's his energy.
What the fuck is about his what is his
He's
energy?
just- see, okay, so he's just like
You find him attractive?
he's just authentic and he's just himself and he's confident with being himself. And
Okay.
he's like, if you notice when he does his like comedy shows,
Mm-hmm.
he talks about his life experiences and it's not like in a shameful way. Like he's had like terrible things happen to him, but he like kind of owns it.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah, like
And
9/11, his father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can just tell he like makes a girl feel like she's like the only girl in the world. Like
Really?
you could just tell as a girl.
So kindness and being
I
authentic.
also love him.
So you find him attractive.
Yeah.
Damn, guys. We need to take advice from Pete Davidson, man. No matter how many times I shit on the guy, I'm like, bro, I don't know how he does it. What is your favorite position in the kitchen?
In the kitchen? Anything but dishwasher.
Dishwashing. So I have this idea that just came to mind recently. I think I could tell when a girl is in a relationship or talking to someone or sleeping with someone.
Okay.
And I noticed it. I started figuring it out more in Hawaii because it's more frequent here. So the way to determine if a girl is sleeping with someone or in a relationship with someone is when she has her eyelashes done.
Oh, what do you mean?
I noticed the girls that are already taken, they have their eyelashes done. But the girls who are single, they just don't care.
Like fake eyelashes or extension?
Fake eyelashes. Well, yeah, just whatever. If the eyelashes look good or they put fake lashes on,
Interesting.
I'm like almost 95% of the time they're taken.
Really?
Did you not notice that? Think about all your friends that are talking to someone.
I feel like my group of friends were always talking to someone.
Okay.
But we like getting dressed up, so I mean, I guess that makes sense.
It makes sense, right? I feel like it's pretty accurate.
Yeah, but also I have friends that don't have eyelashes.
That are dating?
And they're like married with kids. So.
Oh, well, maybe that's different. They're already off the market, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't really see the correlation, but
if
you see it, then it must be there.
I don't know, because I speak to a lot of patients, and they always come with their boyfriends, and all of them have eyelashes. I'm like, I feel like it's always the same case. Last question for you. I'm not going to talk about Andrew Tate, but
I know you want to.
No, I know. You already told me everything you needed to about Andrew Tate. But who's a female equivalent to women that you guys look up to, like Andrew Tate?
Ooh, like Andrew Tate. Actually, there's this girl I really like that I recently discovered on Instagram. Her name's Sadia Khan.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of her?
No.
She's like a psychologist, but I think like she kind of also talks about like dating and stuff. Because actually, I've gotten a lot of like Andrew Tate stuff pop up on my For You page, and then that's how I like.
Recently,
I think from our thing, yeah, from our thing. So I was like, okay, I'm about to get educated, I guess. She popped up, and I actually like her stance on things, because like Andrew Tate and like similar guys like that, they only talk about the male perspective, and I think this girl, she provides like an unbiased
opinion.
Perspective.
Can you teach me? Tell me what she says.
Like she talks about like guys, like I don't think she talks about him specifically. I've only watched like a couple of clips, but she more talks about how like men and women should be like working together, not how we're breeding like toxic men and women, or we're teaching people how to divorce. We're getting people ready to divorce instead of to date.
So she teaches
really
positive messages.
It
took forever. So basically, she's teaching us positive values versus Andrew Tate. I feel like Andrew Tate does teach positive values, but he teaches it in a very negative manner.
His execution is
terrible.
Yeah. But I get where he's coming from, but he needs to come at it from a different angle, because then there's these other guys that like talk about it. They're maybe not as like, they're very like influenced, by guys, like what they see on the internet, and they think they take it too far.
Yeah, 100%.
They take it the wrong direction.
Yeah. He has a large teenage audience.
Yes, yeah.
And people are like, oh, all men are stupid if they listen to Andrew Tate. I'm like, no. Like, people like me, I filter 90% of it, and then I hear the family aspects of what he says. I'm like, yeah, a girl shouldn't be doing certain things, like maybe working in a strip club and saying like, oh, I'm providing for the family. Like, no, like maybe you shouldn't be doing that. I think these are like good things to teach, Yeah. How certain guys need to be like alphas,
Yeah, and I think too, like, so she talks about that too, like,
what did she say?
Women will like marry someone who is like the alpha or whatever, like the provider, protector, whatever. But like if there's no emotional connection, she'll end up leaving
100%.
him for the guy who maybe doesn't provide and protect as much, but he has like a strong emotional connection with her. You know what I mean? Because that makes her feel like protected and provided for. She feels safe.
Yes.
I like that she talks about how it's the wrong things women do and the wrong things that men do as well.
Ooh, what kind of wrong things do women do?
Like, okay, so she said this, and I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense. Posting in a bikini. Say if you have a...
I told you that.
Yeah, okay, I know. But when she said it made sense to me, okay? So, like...
Okay.
Because that's why I like her, because she puts it into, like, something that's digestible for both genders. So she said, like, it's maybe your intention is not disrespectful. Maybe you don't respond to any of the dudes that comment on it, but the fact that dudes can comment and will comment on it, it feels like a form of disrespect towards the person you're dating, knowing that is going to happen, and you still continue. So I kind of get that. When she put it into perspective like that, I was like, she is very like smart. I like her.
See, that's good that you guys have your own Andrew Tate. I'm really glad about that, though, because clearly the messages of men aren't coming. Yeah,
she advocates for both sides. That's why I like her. Yeah,
right.
I feel like Andrew Tate's more like very biased.
Yeah. Yeah. He is. But if you got into a relationship, would you continue posting bikini pictures?
I mean, if I needed it, I kind of do it for work. That's the only thing. Yeah.
Your recent one you posted was for work?
Well, so you post online and you get your following. That's how more brands want to work with you. Right. So you have to post kind of consistently. Yeah.
How often do you have to post? Well, on Instagram?
Ideally, you would post every day.
What?
Yes.
Stories or post?
Post. Stories.
You don't post every day.
You want to post at least. Yeah. See, I'm not really on my stuff right now, but stories you want to post every day, and also posts like grid posts you want to post every day.
Mm-hmm. Do you get paid
Ideally.
from Instagram?
Yes.
You get paid from Instagram?
Yes.
How come you never told me? What about TikTok?
It depends. I get brand deals sometimes, yeah.
Right. So brands reach out to you and say, show my brand.
Mm-hmm. And then they'll pay.
And that's the bikini?
Sometimes bikini, yeah.
Oh,
Depends,
I see.
yeah.
Huh, interesting. And TikTok, you're not sponsored there.
TikTok, I have had brands reach out to me, yeah.
And you're not, though.
TikTok is harder, though, because
it's
harder to make a TikTok because it's like video content versus like a picture. So,
oh, I see. TikTok banned me like 10 times already.
really?
I used to have like thousands of views, and now I only have 200 at no matter what I post.
Oh my gosh.
I could post a video of the wall, it'll be 200.
Yeah.
Yeah, they blocked me. I have every week a new message saying, you're in violation, file for an appeal. I'm like, bro, I
almost got banned.
Really?
Yeah.
What'd you get banned?
I was on TikTok live, and I was like doing a mukbang, but I had a bathing suit top on.
What?
Yeah.
So?
Someone reported me.
Are you kidding
And
me?
then I almost got banned. All my the videos got deleted. I had one that almost had like 1 million views, and it got deleted.
I am so sorry. That
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah. It's all right.
Ouch. Yeah, I stopped using TikTok. I'm like, this is trash, man.
Yeah, it used to be an easy place to grow your platform, but now I feel like it's kind of like you could have like a hater that's
Maybe.
reporting you.
No, I don't think so. I know it's not a hater. Maybe earlier I got banned for that, but I know exactly what happened. One time, my whole account got shut down. One of the guests on my podcast, I asked her the same question I always ask. I'm like, how do you feel about Andrew Tate? And her exact words were, I don't hate him. I actually don't think he's a misogynist at all. End of clip.
Is it the misogynist thing? Is that too like
Maybe. I don't know if you're not allowed to post. Maybe. I posted it. My whole account shut down, and I clicked. I'm like, what's going on? And it says, you have officially been banned on TikTok.
Isn't that the worst feeling? Like all your work
I was like,
out the window.
100%. And I was like, and it said, you have to file an appeal, upload your passport. I'm like, what? I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I was like, there was no hate in that video.
Yeah.
Like, nonsense.
Did you try to appeal it?
I appealed it, but I never post anymore. I'm like, this is just garbage.
Yeah, because just in case you might get banned again.
Yeah, I just use it to edit videos, and I upload the rest to my actual sources of, entertainment. But I was like, yo, TikTok is not it. And during that time, they were going through the trial where the CEO was just like, we don't take down stuff on TikTok. I'm like, bro, you just took down my video, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
That's weird, though. That must have been a mistake.
No, if I posted it twice. So I just wanted to see. So I posted it once. It was removed, and it says inappropriate behavior or content. So I was like, that's weird. So I posted it again. Boom, they shut down the account. I was like, all right, cool. So it wasn't a mistake.
Also, if you're on TikTok Live and people are saying mean things, they can also ban you because that's bullying.
For you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
People have said mean things to you?
I mean, like, if you're on TikTok and you have like a certain amount of viewers,
Right.
There's always gonna be people
Right,
that
right.
like
Always.
say things.
TikTok
I just ignore it, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, any TikTok Live that has a lot of views, you're gonna have people that say.
I feel like TikTok is like really old school, and people to say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Because when I read the comments, I'm like, this is like from the 90s. People used to say, oh, you're ugly, you're stupid. I'm like, bro, I thought this was like not allowed anymore.
Yeah. But I mean, those people, you just gotta like take it with a grain of salt, cause
Why? What kind
who
of
comments
negative?
that kind of stuff?
What kind of negative things people said about you?
They'll be like, oh, I guess like desperate for attention, or like, damn, like that's a lot of food, like stuff like that. Like,
I had one today. I was reading right before you came. It was so funny. So I posted a video with Jojo and me.
Yeah.
About how I was like, I don't know why girls are getting all muscular. I'm like, it's not attractive for men, right? I posted that. And some guy wrote in the comment, yeah, listen to the guy who's a lean beef patty.
Oh my God.
I was like, bro, that's hilarious.
That's funny, but that's like fucking rude.
I was laughing so hard. I was like, lean beef patty,
Oh
man.
my gosh.
Oh, man, that was really funny.
You go to the gym though, right?
Yeah, but like, I'm not thick enough for a thick girl, is what he's saying. You know what I mean? But
see, but you know what's weird? Like, who comments that kind of stuff? Like, they must be so.
I know who
sad
comments.
in
It's
their
always the
life,
person
which
with
is
0
more
posts
sad.
and like 3 followers.
Yeah, I feel
Always.
like it's more sad for them, if anything, right?
Yeah, like you said yourself, you're supposed to take it with a grain of salt. These people, like, no one takes it seriously. But yeah, honestly, like, my podcast is just trying to help people. I don't know why people shit on me.
You know what's funny? On my Dear Universe podcast I used to have, I remember this one person comment like, if you put makeup on a pig, it's still a pig. And I commented back, I was like, oink, oink.
That's funny. Yeah, just dive right into the
Yeah.
Did you see the comments on our videos? They were so funny.
Some of them, I saw the ones
I thought it was so
that started a whole debacle.
Which one?
The one about like girls have it way harder.
No, not that one. Like our long form video.
I saw some.
It was
Why
so
did- or
funny.
there's
It's
some
just
that
like,
stood out
oh,
to
the
me.
white guy and his Asian prize. I'm like, bro, I'm dead.
What
I was like, this shit's so funny.
That's
He's like,
actually really funny.
yeah, I was like, the white guy's trying to flex with his Asian prize. I'm like, that's
so
hilarious.
funny. Some of them are actually hilarious. Like, how do you guys come up with this stuff?
Yeah, you gotta really sit. I love YouTube comments. It's just
Mm-hmm.
fucking hilarious.
Just out there.
Okay, guys, with that, we end the podcast with Brandy.